All right, everybody, you know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. Bam! Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we're so excited to have you back here in the building with us here on the Real Talk Sports Show as we are broadcasting to you on multiple platforms. Here, we're on YouTube Live, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter TV, we're also on Twitch as well. And we're thankful, very, very thankful for those of you who decided to join us here on the broadcast this evening. Well, anytime we do this broadcast, we like to do it, guys. We always want to bring in one of those beautiful women on sports talk radio or TV. I'm talking about the one and only queen herself. Miss Tree Dolman is back in the building. What's going on, Tree?
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, everybody. How are you doing, Jonathan?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Doing all right.
Well, before I get started, I just want to make sure I have a new mic and headset. How do I sound?
You sound phenomenal.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Sometimes you got to get something new that's factory fresh. Yeah, new headset, and hopefully these guys will be one of our sponsors one day. Logitech. Most people are
Yeah.
familiar with them. Yeah, they do a lot of stuff. They have great um, microphones, headsets, anything that has to do with streaming and the computer. Do a great job with that. So hopefully, you folks out there from Logitech, I got your stuff. So give your boy a little helping hand. Well, anyway, great weekend again. Lots of stuff going on. So, how was your weekend, Miss Tree?
My weekend was awesome and blessed. How was your weekend?
Amen. Mine was awesome and blessed as well. As a matter of fact, got a chance to put on I don't want to say put on the ministerial hat, but basically got back involved with the gospel side. You may or may not know, but this past weekend was the celebration of the Stellar Awards. And for those of you who are watching saying, "Who?" The Stellar Awards are kind of like the gospel music version of the Grammys. So, most of the great gospel legends were out there, Marvin Sapp and um, Tamala Mann and, you know, um, Mary, all the people were out there. Kirk Franklin, just on and on. Ty Tribbett, just all those people that you guys listen to. Just I can't go on. There were so many names that were there, so it was great. And they had a whole weekend, including a celebrity basketball game. We're actually going to have some of the folks that put that on will hopefully join us later on in the broadcast to talk about that. But yeah, just definitely kind of cool being on the red carpet.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I heard about the Stellar Awards coming back to Atlanta. So that's great for the city of Atlanta. And I love that they have the Stellar Awards for all of the people in gospel singing and worshiping the Lord.
Oh yeah, no doubt, and it's good stuff. And what was pretty cool is that over the years they actually have a couple of different awards for gospel or Christian music. One of them is the Dove Awards. They've been in Atlanta a couple of years ago, but it's interesting how they had one of the representatives there from the Dove Awards talk about how they want to make sure to continue to partner with Stellar Awards because they said we don't care what color you are, green, orange, yellow, brown, we're all believers. And although our music might be different, we certainly want to celebrate one of those music. So they were out there in support, and it was really cool just seeing how the Stellar Awards embraced all types of gospel music. So they had winners for best rap gospel album, best contemporary gospel album, traditional. They had spoken word. They had almost like kind of like a folk or acoustic type gospel. So it really was just great to see all those people out there. Let's go ahead and get my glasses here and let's take a look. All right, here we go. And always good for Todd to throw a little zinger to start off the program. He said, "Preacher, this show looked professional tonight. Usually looks like you in a closet." Amen. Leave it to Todd to
Oh
get me
boy.
straight. Well, I'm gonna tell you something, Todd. I do feel good today. I will admit that we've had some changes and some challenges that you guys have know who follow us for a long time. But we're thanking God that a new headset and a new location hopefully will allow us to do as Todd has said, provide you a more professional live stream here tonight. So again, we appreciate all those of you who have tuned in to watch us during this broadcast. So over the weekend, we had a lot of stuff. Like I said, we had the Stellar Awards here. We had the Major League Home Run Derby was going on. I think it was last night. Juan Soto was your winner. I don't know, Tree, did you get a chance to watch any of that at all?
Yes, I actually watched a teeny bit of it. So
Okay.
I did get to see some of it. It was pretty cool to see the guys out there hitting and having fun. It looked like it was a really great time.
Now I will say this much, Tree. There's been a little, we get in our feelings real quick here in Atlanta. So there was a lot of talk about the pitcher who was throwing to Ronald Acuna. It said that maybe this guy did not get an understanding of what he was supposed to be doing, but evidently it was a bit of a problem with the Ronald not getting the kind of pitches that could really, be able
Oh,
to hit.
he was trying to strike him out.
I don't know what he's trying to do, but evidently he wasn't throwing him anything worth nothing. And so there was a lot of pushback on Twitter talking about, hey, where'd they get that guy from? A lot of memes. So I'm just saying, but the home run derby was great. Also great to see. Wait a minute, hold it. I see down in the green room now. Not only do we have the queen, but we have a champion. That's right. We have a champion with us tonight, and he's with us most every Tuesday night. He is a two-time Super Bowl champion. He is a decade plus veteran of the NFL, and he is a member of the Sport Valley State Sports Hall of Fame. The one and only number 38, Tyrone Poole, is back in the building. How you doing, sir? Uh-oh. Let's get that on mute, Corkin. Oh, okay. Well, Tyrone will be back with us in just a moment. I have been there, done that. When you hit that mute button, all of a sudden, bloop, you're off the air. That's it. They're not playing with you. So yeah, that was like I said, there was some pushback about Acuna not getting the kind of pitches he deserved here. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. And it's funny because you know, as you know, Tree, like when to hit a home run, especially in the Derby, that pitch has to be kind of right in your wheelhouse. So the guy's throwing low and outside. If he's throwing high and inside, nothing's going to work. So everything, like I say again, but kudos to Juan Soto, who had the big blast to win it and, take care of business. All right. We're
Yeah,
going to try
that's
once
it.
again.
And I do just want to throw out there, I
Yes,
have
please.
never hit a home run. I used to play softball. I played softball in eighth grade, and then I used to play on an adult co-ed league, but I've never hit a home run.
Tree, I cannot believe that the all around athlete, 6'2" in the bare feet, a woman's got that nice long swing in golf that you have not put one over the fences.
Not yet.
Wow.
I mean,
All right.
I do get on base, I do score, but I haven't hit a home run.
Well, good news. At some point, we're gonna, there's gonna come up some celebrity tournaments coming up with softball, and I believe I'm claiming it right now that one of these tournaments you play in, you're gonna hit a home run. I'm feeling it.
I receive it.
Amen. All right. Speaking of receiver, we're gonna receive him back onto the stage here. Two-time Super Bowl champion, a veteran of the NFL for many years, and a member of the Fort Valley State Sports Hall of Fame. The one and only Mr. Tyrone Poole is back in the building.
All right, we back.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
I knew you was back, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Hope everybody's doing well. How you doing, Miss Tree? Again, all those who are watching and listening, hope you guys had a great day today.
Man, I'm telling you, I think everybody's feeling some kind of way. Mr. Tyrone Poole, all the stuff going on here with the home run derby and, Juan Soto, after he won the home run derby, getting a nice big fat contract from his team, the Washington Nationals. What did you think about the home run derby? Did you get a chance to watch it at all, Tyrone?
The home run derby, it has been around since, Mickey Mantle and, Henry Aaron when he was in the home run derby. So I think it's one of the events, just like the NBA 3-point shootout. Everybody wants to see that and just to see how far these guys can crank that ball up and, see how far they can hit it, because all the pitches are basically softball throws, and let's just see how far he can hit it. So, yeah, I think I love the home run derby. I'm pretty sure the fans love it as well. So it's just an exciting feat to see the strength of these professional athletes.
Well, it's funny. I was telling Tree earlier, there was some pushback from Atlanta fans because evidently, Ronald Acuna, whoever was pitching to him, he was pitching like he was drunk. Acuna was not getting the kind of pitches that some of the other guys were getting, and so the Atlanta fans were feeling some kind of way when the tournament was over. But nevertheless, Juan Soto did it. And the other thing was pretty cool, man. Some of these guys set some records. 32 homers were hit in the first round. And how about the old legend giving them Soto a run for the money, Albert Pujols, taking them down to the stretch? I think that they're finally going to overtime before Soto won it out. So yeah, man, it was definitely it was definitely must see TV last night, because sometimes that home run derby get a little but yeah, last night, man, they were bombing, bro. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think they should just get away from the actual human pitcher and just let them throw a baseball machine. Just let them throw a baseball machine, just like how sometimes we go to the parks, we go to these places where you're working on your baseball game and you put $1 worth of quarters in the actual machine, and it just throws you the ball right across the plate. So I think they should get away from the humanistic of things and just let the machine throw the ball. I think that'll be fair and fair.
I like that
I'm
idea.
gonna hate that.
But right, I was gonna say that sounds good, but
Yeah.
I'm with you, Tree. I don't know if I like that not having the human situation there.
Yeah, I'd rather have a human, and not just that, but it just allows another human to be a part of something that's great and legacy. And I just think the human aspect is such a wonderful part. But I do think they need to have the conversation with everyone before they start pitching and let them know, hey, you want to throw the nice softball pitch, you're not going for a strike here. This is something so we can actually see the guys hit home runs. Just explain to them what it's all about.
Yeah, I understand that part too, but like we just set up here and talked about, you just made the point. Somebody, they got heated about how they were throwing the ball. Again, if you either complain or you shut up. Okay, if you go shut up, I'm talking about the people in general, not you, Tree. But if people gonna complain, then let's put the machines in there, and every pitch gonna be the same. Okay. If you want the humanistic part in it, you're gonna get some high balls, some low balls, some balls that shut your mouth. Okay, you can't have your cake and eat it too, people.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say about why I like the idea of the human element is because every now and then what they do, Tyrone, is they'll bring somebody out. Like, for example, a few years ago, they actually let one of the guy's dad pitch to him. And it just was a cool moment for the guy's father to be out there pitching. I think his father pitched in the minor leagues or something like that. And to see him out there with his son in such a big moment. And they've had some other stuff like that where teammates have kind of been able to do that stuff. So that's why I kind of like the human element. Now, as far as me personally, that pitching thing has always been every now and then you just get somebody in there that want to act the fool. And if the case with, I don't know, normally you're supposed to pick your pitcher yourself. So I don't know whether some guy lost in translation with Ronald Acuna, but like I said, whoever he had out there was just, ridiculous. Let's go to social media. Todd says, the fact of the day, Babe Ruth last game was ever played, I guess today. He had 3 home runs, and his last one, number 714, went about 600 feet, estimated, and went out of the stadium at age 40.
Ooh, impressive.
Right. Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, Babe Ruth is the guy's a legend. But before we go to the break, you guys are familiar. I know I'm messing his name up. It's the player on the Angels. I think it's Shohei Ohtani. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but to me, this guy is a modern day Babe Ruth. A lot of people don't know about Babe Ruth is that Babe Ruth actually started off as a pitcher and actually was quite a good pitcher in his opening years, but they found that he could hit the long ball. Well, fast forward almost now 80 or 90 years later, you have Shohei Ohtani that plays for the California, I'm sorry, let me get that right. Yeah, the Angels. I don't want to miscall them the Los Angeles Angels, I guess they are now. He is a modern day legend. This guy has hit, last year I think he hit around 40 home runs, but as a pitcher, he also won 12 games. This year, as a pitcher in the major leagues, not as just like a reliever, the guy is 9-2, and he's hit 14 home runs and knocked in 56 runs. Now, That's incredible that a guy is able to do this as a two-way player coming off a pitcher and outfielder. So again, look him up. I think it's called again Shohei Ohtani. To me, I know everybody talks about Mike Trout being the best player in baseball, one of the best players, but his teammate Ohtani is doing something that just is really like once in a century. We've never seen a guy come out that be a top level pitcher and a guy that can hit home runs like Ohtani. So that's my shout out. Well, speaking of shout out, we like give one to our sponsors, and we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Please don't go anywhere. Thank you very much. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice. And we are back here with the Real Talk Sports Show. Thank you for tuning in and joining us. You can see right next to me the lovely and beautiful, as always, the Queen Tree Dolman and the strong man, the one and only Hall of Famer, two-time Super Bowl champion, Mr. Tyrone Poole, who always reminds you, no matter what you do, you better work that thing.
Work that thing.
Yes, sir. In the building. Tyrone, man, listen, we want to again give you a big shout out, man. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you guys are taking this work that thing to the next level. You guys are doing some supplements. Do I understand that as well? Talk to us a little bit about what you got going on with Work That Thing.
Yeah, you know what? I was actually, which I am, I'm gonna see if you could plug in maybe next show my commercial for Work That Thing supplements. But yes, Work That Thing supplements.
What? Wait a minute.
Tyrone has a commercial. Yeah, we have to do that.
Tyrone, now you know what to do. It's download the MP4, send it to my email so I can load it up as part of our sponsor advertisement package. Yes, sir. Congratulations to you, Tyrone Poole.
Yeah, well, maybe before we actually can finish this show, people want to hang around. Maybe I can have time enough to send it over to you.
Yes, sir.
Maybe
we'll do it during the break. We will do it during the break.
That'll be motivation for people to hang around. All right.
That's right.
Work That Thing supplements. Basically, it's my body was my business for over 12 years, and I know what I took to help me be healthy. I'm still healthy now, praise God. So what I'm doing, I'm kind of like giving people the actual purity of what I believe helped me. And I believe nutrition, just like anything, it's a principle. If you know the right supplements to take, the right minerals, the right vitamins, the right amino acids, then you can turn your body into whatever you want, because all of our bodies are made up pretty much of the same material and membranes, ligaments, tendons, muscles. It's just all about how you feed those muscles, and you want to feed them purity. So that's why I came up with Work That Thing supplements. Of course, Work That Thing means also that if you want to do whatever it is you want to do, you got to work that thing. Nothing comes for free, baby. I'm telling you. Success don't fall in your lap. You got to work that thing for success. So, yeah, Work That Thing supplements. WorkThatThing.com. WorkThatThing.com.
WorkThatThing.com. I thought I had that one point. Let me see if I got that banner. I can pop up here. Let me see if I can find it. If not, I will have it. Good Lord willing by the end of the show so people can know about what you are doing, man, because, I mean, it's great stuff. And Tree, I know from time to time you have some, and here it is right here. Remember, guys, Work That Thing. There it is right there. And
no, that was Work That Thing. Work That Thing.
Okay, I corrected. All right.
Yeah. But I do own Work That Thing, Work That, D-A-T thing, Work That Thing. So I bought all the names. So that's
smart man. That's what I tell everybody. You buy all the names.
Work That Thing. Yes, Work That Thing with an I. I had to get politically correct, all right? Thing, not thing.
I know. Tree, anything coming up for you in the not too distant future you want to talk about? Any type of nonprofit events? Because I know you're always being called here and there. So kind of let you have the platform. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. I'm actually happy that you asked because we do have something coming up tomorrow with Go Great for a Cure. Tomorrow is Glioblastoma Awareness Day, and we are going to do a live on my social media, on my Instagram, as well as the Go Great for a Cure Instagram. We are going to talk with our board members so you all can get to know our board, asking them some nice, fun questions. There's a new medication that the FDA has just approved for some types of the brain cancers with the gliomas for certain types, which is excellent, excellent, excellent news. And then we're also going to have some giveaways. So you see these bracelets that I wear. Somebody will be able to win one of these or the lava bracelets that we have that are gray. We're also going to give away a couple of our drawstring bags, and we're going to give away some of my spa items to a caregiver. So we're just going to have a wonderful time tomorrow. So please tune in 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, you can find that on my social media at It's Latresa, as well as Go Great for a Cure.
Let me get you on that solo thing right here so I can get everybody right there. Let's get it. So we're going to pop this up here. And bam, there we go. There you go, guys, right there. So
Yes.
boom, boom, boom. Just go to either one of those sites. You'll be able to find out more information about what is going on with the Queen and how you can better support her. And yeah, we're just, listen, it's always exciting to, hear you guys doing the stuff that you do, because it's very important, obviously, to get back into community. And even Tyrone, what you're doing with your business enterprise, it's just to let people know that, hey, man, if you got an idea that the Lord gave you, don't be scared and get out there and just do what the Lord has for you to do. Let's just zoom in here. There you go.
The
That's
book
right.
cover.
Hey, we're doing a lot of things here on Real Talk Sports, baby.
That's right, baby. And actually, that's how I first met Tyrone. Going back several years ago, I went to cover an event, but they've changed their name now. Back then, it was called the North Fulton and Forsyth Touchdown Club, and Tyrone was the guest speaker for the evening. I think at that point, I don't know, you might have had a different book that you had just kind of put out, but anyway, that's why I met him. He was kind enough to say, "Look here, man, let's stay in contact." And fast forward over the years, he's obviously popped in and out of the Real Talk Sports Show, but he was kind enough to join us now on a regular basis. So again, we appreciate him and certainly want to encourage him and support anything he does. Let's go to social media one more time. All right. Oh, we might have a contributor right here. Todd says, Tree, do you have a Cash App? Because Todd's ready to put his money in support of what you're doing. So
Oh, I appreciate that, Todd. I must say that I only have a Cash App for personal. I do not have a Cash App for any of my nonprofits, and that is because whenever someone makes a donation, I always make sure that they get a tax deductible receipt. And with Cash App, I don't have the ability to do that. So you can make a donation on the website, or you can make a donation through check to our address that's on our website. And those are the ways that you can make donations, because it is a 501c3. So no, I don't use Cash App, so I do apologize. I know some people ask me, many people actually, but I just want to make sure that I do things the right way and that everybody can get a tax deductible receipt, because since we are a 501c3, all donations are tax deductible.
no doubt. No doubt. So again, guys, that's it. Go to the website. You can find out more information about it. And she will certainly get you your proper tax credit, or I should say, be able to write that off. And you'll be knowing that, hey, you're doing something great. Let's go back to our topics again. Hey, the home run derby. We want to give a big shout out to the Mays High School baseball player baseball player drafted in the first round by the Pirates. And of course, in my haste to get that information up, I did not get the gentleman's name, so I will have to go ahead and go back on to social media and get that. Then we want to get an update from our lovely Tree about what's happening in women's sports, some WNBA updates from the All-Star game. And I just heard that the women's team, soccer team, once again, has earned the right to play in the 2024 Olympics. So, Tree, give us a little update of what's happening with women's sports.
Well, right now, the Atlanta Dream are currently sitting in 4th place in the Eastern Conference, which is phenomenal. The record is 11-14. They have had some losses. They've had some great games, though, and they've had some great wins and pulling things out. We actually, can you believe it, have our entire roster healthy. So that's big. and they've been playing really good basketball. So, right, like I said, right now in the Eastern Conference, we're in fourth place. The WNBA just takes the top 8 teams. It doesn't matter if you're in the Eastern or the Western, just the best 8 teams with the best record goes. So right now, if it was playoff season, our Atlanta Dream would be going there.
Well, that is exciting to definitely hear that. Good to hear that the Dream will continue to play a top level brand of basketball. How excited are you that the U.S. women, who really have been one of the great stories over the last 20 some odd years in terms of women's sports, going back again to take their shot at the 2024 Olympics?
I'm really excited, especially with all of the things going on. For many people who may or may not know, that this is the 50th year that we are celebrating Title IX, which helps women's sports and to make sure that women's sports get funding and the things that they need so that they can be on an equal playing field as the men. And so for all of these things to happen this year, it just really makes my heart smile. I think that them going back to the Olympics and representing is phenomenal. I'm happy that they're getting paid higher. I'm happy that they actually gave them back pay. I'm happy for the wonderful things that have happened, even with gymnastics, where they're actually giving them money if they have nonprofits or different things that they want to do in the community to support. And I think that is also phenomenal that we're seeing more and more women getting deals now with different shoe companies. You're seeing them on CarMax companies. That is what we want to see. We want to see more women in sports getting endorsements. We want to see their names out there. We want to see them getting shoes. I'm seeing a player has a shoe deal. I'm seeing players that have endorsement deals with clothing lines. That's what we want to see. So seeing all of these things, especially going on during the year that we're celebrating 50 years of Title IX, it just really makes my heart smile. I thank everybody who is supporting women's sports, buying their apparel and watching, because all of those things matter. We have to support with our money and we have to support with our views.
I say that I had this, Tree brought up some good things. And this is what I would like to see all people, not just the women in sports, but men, even those who don't play sports. Okay. Tree read off a list of they getting shoe deals, clothing deals, and they're donating, the organizations are donating to the players foundation. Well, me personally, I got a little issue with that. Not a big issue, like it's terrible, but I'm like, in today's entrepreneurship and these athletes, they have a name. You have a name. You don't need Nike no more, so to speak. You don't need Adidas. Go out there and create your own shoe. Use your own brand, entrepreneurship. So I'm like, that's what I want to see. We're not back in the 80s no more, 90s, where we didn't know. You can literally build your own career. So if I had an opportunity to talk to these female athletes, which I'm talking to you now, okay, go and start your own shoe company, okay? It don't take you that much, okay? Design your own shoe. Now you get full 100%, okay? On top of that, when they donate to your foundation, here's what I think about that too. Okay, yes, that sounds good, but the company that's donated, they still use it as a tax write-off. So it's still benefiting them. And you, as a foundation owner, you can't keep all that money yourself. You got to get rid of about 30%, whatever the state law that you're in or the federal law. So again, people, I'm like, see through the real stuff, man. And yes, take their help, but you know what? Start your own stuff. All right. It's called what it says in the Bible: a wise man, a wise woman leaves an inheritance for their children's children. Don't just eat grandma's cake. Find out what the recipe is.
Listen, can I just say, Tyrone? Listen, you always just speak the best things. So first I want to say exactly what you just said. I don't know, many people may or may not know her. On her social media is Track Baby 001 or something like that. But I met her many years ago. Really nice, sweet girl. I met her doing a celebrity flag football game, and she plays women's football. She did exactly what you said, Tyrone. She started her own shoe company. Her shoe company is doing phenomenal. She has high top shoes. She just came out with low tops. She is really killing the game. And also, the other thing that I wanted to say is, many years ago, one of my goals which I normally don't talk about what I'm going to do because I don't believe in talking about what I'm going to do. I just want to show you when I do it. But yes, there she is, Track Baby 001.
That
Those
is
are her
Miss
shoes.
that is Miss Sanita Deck.
Yes.
And I got a chance to meet her and her parents, and I've been trying to find the video, but I actually got a chance to speak with them briefly at World Series game number 4 as they were leaving the game, and so impressed with her. And actually, she has a momager. Her mom actually does most of the managing for her. So it was just Sanita Deck, and follow her at Track Baby 001. There she is right there in the screen.
Those are her shoes. Yes.
Yep.
And she is the sweetest, kindest person.
Yep.
Love her. She really is. And the other thing that I was going to say is that's actually one of the things that I'm going to do as well. I'm going to come out with my own shoe. I've actually already been working on it for many years. So I love where you go, Tyrone, because we think a lot. We think alike on a lot of things. We really do. And yeah. Yeah, but you're right. We need to have our own. That's like, I love candles and everything. So what did I do? I came out with my own candle company. I have my own candle and cosmetic company. I have, multiple streams of income. So I agree. It's great to get the deals with Nike, Adidas, and all these other things, but it's also great to create your own and come out with your own. So I agree with everything you just said, Tyrone. Shoot those gems out there.
Coming out with a WTT shoe. Work that thing, shoe. Yes.
Well, speaking of that, we got to work that thing for a second here. We got to take a sponsor break, but we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Please don't go nowhere. Thank you.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net. The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice.
Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Mr. Jonathan Simmons. Right next to me is the lovely Miss Tree Dolman, and right below is the champion, Mr. Tyrone Poole. It's just great to see and great to think about the idea of, really kind of doing your own thing. And I will encourage people to, if you do need a voice behind your advertisements, please give us a call. We'll be more than happy to be the voice of your business. And if you don't have a script, we'll put something together for you. We'll kind of, have a meeting of the minds and have you sounding really, really good. Let me go back really, really quickly. The young man who I was talking about before, Mays Raider, Tamar Johnson. Last year, he was ranked the #1 high school prospect in the nation. And so we are seeing slowly but surely, evidently, baseball's understanding there's a lot of talent, right, in these American backyards, in these urban and suburban communities. Matter of fact, we know the young man that is steamrolling his way with great speed across the base pass for the Braves. Michael, why am I drawing him blank? No. Anyway, Michael Walker, I think it is. I'll double check that to be sure. But grew up and played right down the road at Stockbridge High School. So again, kudos to baseball for finally looking down the backyard. And actually, Major League Baseball does have a program called RBI, Returning Baseball to the Inner City. So it does apparently appear that there is some traction finally happening as young athletes from urban and suburban communities, and primarily African-American young athletes, are once again finding baseball as an option to play. So again, big shout out to Tamar Johnson, drafted in the first round. I think it was the #4 overall pick by the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah,
Mays High School.
I say this, congratulations to Tamar Johnson, and there's a couple of other like Georgia people as well. But what I wanted to talk about real quickly, just because unlike the NFL, if you're drafted in the first round, this is the difference between the sports. Football, baseball, basketball. It's like if you're drafted in the first round of the NFL, you're pretty much almost guaranteed that you're gonna make that team. Okay.
Right.
All the other sports, just because you drafted in the first round, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make the team. And what I think the reason, like baseball, okay, all these guys, hey, I want you to do it. I want you to work that thing, be the best. But also, you look at what are the percentages. And I think I was reading where a player, talk about baseball, even though they're drafted in the first round, their chances of making a team is like 60%. And then if you're drafted in the second round, third round, that thing drops even more. But I'm like, why is it so tough to make a baseball team? I think it's the same reason, just like in football. What position makes football the hardest? It's the quarterback. I'm like, I'm covering guys, and that quarterback put that ball in there. I'm like, man, how in the world did he get that ball in there? That's why they get paid the money. What about baseball? It's the pitching. I'm like, I'm just reading how many millimeters of seconds, not no whole like 1, 2, 3. Okay, now it's a fastball. You got millimeters of seconds to determine when that ball leaves that pitcher's hand. Is it a curve? Is it a fastball? Is it a breaking ball? I'm like, it's the pitching is what makes it so difficult, I believe, to make it in the Major League Baseball. And I'm like, kudos again to all these guys being drafted. But you know what? The work is not done, fellas. You got to turn your game up a notch. You have to really elevate your eye-hand coordination, because those pitchers, I'm telling you, woo, it's smoking.
Well, you think about it. One of the hardest things to do is to take a round bat and hit a round ball that's coming at you. Now you have multiple pitchers. Used to be every now and then you had a guy like a Nolan Ryan or a J.R. Richard, going back in my days, I'm kind of older, that would get you up around 100 miles an hour. You now have multiple Major League Baseball pitchers that are being routinely clocked 102, 104, 105. And so, like you said, you really have not only to pick up the pitch itself, but to determine in those short period of time, is this a fastball? Is this a curveball? Is this a slider? So you got a lot going on as a major league hitter. So again, if you can hit that baseball, and if you can show that you have some skill set around the base pass, you might do it. But I tell you one thing: if you're born left-handed, you can pitch. You can take a career a long way in baseball, baby.
They're like long snapping. They're like long snapping in the NFL. If you
Yes,
can
sir.
snap the ball, man, look at here. You can play till you 55 years old.
A long time. A long time. Ain't no doubt about it. So let's go take a look at some of our other topics here for the evening. Let's go ahead to our magical screen. And that was from last week. Let's go to our this week. Here we go. We did the home run derby. Okay. Atlanta United kind of lost a tough match. I want to ask you guys a question. Tree, I know you are like me. You are a golf aficionado. I think Tyrone likes a little bit of golf as well. Okay. It does appear that the battle royale between the PGA and the, I guess that's the Roman numeral 55 tour is really getting hot and heated, as many of now your major winners are in fact heading to that tour. So the question is this good for golf or no? What do you think?
For people leaving the
Just
PGA and going to the Live.
Basically, not only that, but just this whole almost like war between these two tours. Is this going to eventually elevate the tour, where you're seeing more and more players be having an opportunity to play and maybe getting, maybe better players? Or is this going to ultimately hurt the tour as people kind of say, hey, I'm tired of all this stuff going back and forth. I'm through with golf.
Well, people who really love golf, we're never going to be through with golf. So it doesn't matter what's going on with the PGA or the Live Tour. True golf lovers, we love golf and we'll play as long as we can. But as far as the different things with people, media loves to draw attention to things, just like when the Live players were golfing at the Open and they kept asking them questions about the Live tournament, and then they answer that question, and then they ask them more questions about it, and they're just trying to make a story. We know that reporters, they like to have things to talk about, and this is something that they can talk about outside of how well someone is golfing on the greens. Do I think it's bad for golf? I don't think it's bad for golf because it's bringing more and more attention to golf. And even though, when you're getting attention brought to golf, that's a good thing for the game. It's not going to stop players from playing golf. You'll get those that will choose to play for the PGA, and then you'll get those that choose to play for the LIV tournaments, and it'll keep the game going.
Yeah, and I think it's good from looking at it from a capitalistic situation. The more competition you have amongst companies, and that's what these two are. They are companies. Okay, they have employees. So the fans are the customers. So the more competition you have, then of course the quality of play is going to be better. I think the greater variety of just how things are done. The fans are going to benefit because now the players, these organizations, they know they just can't put any sloppy stuff out there now, because if you don't do it right, then the customer's going to go somewhere else. So you want to keep the customer happy. So I think, competition is very critical in the continuance of putting great products out there for the viewers or for the customers. So I love it. I invite it. Competition, bring it.
Well, I do just want to say, for those that may not know, the PGA does not put out sloppy things, or they always have very, very, very competitive tournaments, which is part of what the people that are going to the LIV tournament, they're saying, because the good thing with the PGA is the only way that you actually made money outside of your endorsements and your sponsor deals, you had to place or win the tournament. So it was great for competition. It's kind of like for my friends who sell homes. You don't get paid unless you close on a home. That's when you get a check. So with the PGA, the only way you got a check from the PGA from the tournament was either to win the tournament or place in one of the placements that you received a payout, outside, of course, of getting your endorsements and your sponsorships. The big difference that a lot of people are loving who are going to the LIV tournament is that you get your money just for signing. It's kind of like with the NFL. And you go in the first round, the first couple of picks, you get a signing bonus. So it doesn't matter. Even before you step on that golf course, you've already paid and you're guaranteed to make this much money even before you step on the course. And that's the big difference. But the competition, I will say, with both tours is excellent competition. These are professionals. They're the best of the best in the game. So it's going to be great competition with both, regardless of who stays with the PGA and who goes to the LIV tournaments.
Well, I guess when I look at it, when I say competition from a competitive standpoint, okay, I look at a 360. There are HBCU golfers. They don't get invited. They don't get opportunity to go pro. Just like the XFL, you got the USFL, you got the NFL, you got the Canadian. So the more variety, you give everybody an opportunity to level the playing field. But when it's only one or two people, then companies, they get to choose who they want. So they have control. So when you have a variety, then you give everybody an opportunity. That's where I come from.
Yes, but the HBCU players do have an opportunity to go pro. Anybody can go pro. I just want to say that with golf. Anybody. Myself, I could go pro right now if I go and complete what it takes to go pro. So I could do that if I'm good enough and if I have the funds to go and complete, and then I will get my LPGA tour inviting, and I'll be able to play on the tour. So any person can go pro if you are good enough and you have the funds to complete that process to get there. So it is possible for anybody.
Yeah, again, I understand where you're coming from, Tree, but let's be realistic, okay? Everybody's not going to be one of the fan favorites, okay? Most of these people, these tournaments, the LPG or the pro golfing, wherever the men, even when they go to Augusta, and they play there. It used to be a big thing. It was talking about, it was racist and all that stuff, okay? Where we could create other things, like we talked about these women. You create your own shoe, create your own clothing line. So the more we create, the more we give everybody an opportunity to get accepted, to be in their top 10. So yes, I understand what you're saying. And there are a lot of people who had an opportunity to go to NFL, playing in college football, but did they go? They had an opportunity, right. But thanks to the XFL, thanks to the USFL, these guys now get an opportunity to hopefully better their game to where then they can step up. So for those who may not be quite yet ready, because I was a wallflower, meaning I bloomed late. Now, if they were just going off of, hey, Tyrone, what he did his junior year, his sophomore year, then no, I never would have made it. But because I had time to blossom. So that's all I'm saying, giving everybody an opportunity. The more steps you have, the more opportunity you have, then you can increase your game. So I'm looking at it from a 360, not just if you have your game good enough. Yeah, anybody can play golf, but can you play with the best? Will they choose you? And more than likely, no. These companies would not want you to support their product because you're not good enough. So now these opportunities for these other golf places give you an opportunity, should I say, not to repeat the word opportunity, but you can develop your game to get better. So I'm just looking at it from a 360 and other avenues that most people complain about.
Well, I think at the end of the day, it gets down to what we always talk about when you're dealing with a society or that deals with a capitalism, and it's about making money. And this is all about money. This is all about leverage, and really some of this is caused by the PGA tour, because evidently players have been kind of talking about minimum amounts on the cut, things like this. So this turf didn't come out of nowhere. Usually, it's like any other business. Why do businesses get started? Because you're trying to serve the need. Somebody out there's got a need, and you say, okay, well, here's what we do. And so what the Lift Tour found was there were a lot of players that were unhappy about the way the PGA handled, especially guys on the lower level. But not only that, dictating to both the European and PGA Tour how many events guys had to play in order to qualify for certain tournaments. So a lot of this stuff that's happening, we see the same thing now. And we're about to talk about the super conferences in football, college football, all this stuff. All of this has become evident because now the people who are the players understand, hey, the people not coming out here to see some unknown tour executive. They're coming out to see me. They're coming out to see me drive the ball now 400 yards. They're coming to see me make a 50-foot putt. They're not coming to see the former guy, Tim Finchin, or all these people that are behind the PGA Tour. And so all of these things, the PGA, the NCAA, all of these guys have ruled with an iron fist and been very draconian in some of their aspects. Now, I will say the good news has been they have found a way through media and through other things to really build up the hype. So you always really were very excited about these tournaments. You always wanted to be involved in watching the majors. You wanted to see the Final Four because the energy of the marketing machine. But in their attempt to control everything, the players are finally finding out that, oh, wait a minute. Hold up. We're the product. Y'all not the product. They're not just coming to see that. And so now you're seeing this in every sport. There's a complete upheaval. And it's going to get even worse as time goes on. My question is, at some point, one of the reasons why people like the Olympics, why people enjoy the NCAA tournament, and I want everybody to make their money, but there was a certain amount of passion for winning that was beyond just me getting a check. I'm competing for my school. I'm competing for my country. I want to support. I want to be the guy that's the SEC champion, represent the SEC in this tournament. So people are wondering, hey, once everybody's getting paid, is it going to be like everything's a semi-pro league? Are we going to have that same passion and energy? So I think that's where some people, especially us OGs, wonder about, are we going to see that same passion and that excitement that makes us want to watch?
Well, I will say in regards to what you said about the getting paid, yes, everyone wants to get paid, especially when you're professional. And we know that with time comes change. We look at the NFL, how much players used to get paid in the NFL. They didn't get paid a lot. Some of my friends who are older gentlemen, they didn't make even close to what these guys are playing now. I think one of the OGs was saying that the tickets for Super Bowl, I think they were charging $15, and they didn't even know if people would pay $15 to come out and watch them play. That's how much things have changed and how much the players get paid now. Even with golf, we know that before Tiger Woods on the PGA Tour, the players weren't making as much money as they're making now. Now, when you win and you place in the top 3, top 5, you get multi-millions of dollars. So with time, yes, these numbers have changed and it is evolving, and players are getting paid more. what I do want to say in the terms of golf is kind of different than the NFL and the NBA and soccer in the sense of some of the NFL players get endorsement deals. It's not all of them. Some of them do. You're the ones that have great agents, right? Some of the Major League Baseball, soccer players and things of that nature. When it comes to golf, though, pretty much every player that's in the top 50, top 75 at those tournaments, they all have sponsors and endorsements. So they are already getting paid, and most of those golfers are multimillionaires. Yes, they do want more money, and yes, they do want to continue to win, but they are getting those endorsements and those deals where you see that more with golf because people know, hey, if I sponsor this player while they're golfing, you're going to see my logo and my name on their hat, on their shirt, on their sweatshirt. Their caddy may have on a hat. So their company name is going to be all around. And with these golf commercials, you see, it's only a few of them are in commercials. But my point is that you do see with golf a lot more endorsements and sponsorships, mainly the endorsements of these professional players. So it's easier once it's a professional golfer to get those endorsement deals.
I say this also about the money thing real quick. Tree, you mentioned back in the day. Well, the thing is, they didn't have television back then. So, and this is what I think. Every year that revenue, whether it's in baseball, basketball, football, is going up every year. So whoever got paid, whoever the highest paid athlete is right now, okay, Patrick Mahomes in football, okay, well, 5 years from now, somebody gonna make more than that. I'm like, you even look at the U.S. debt. The U.S. debt is not the same as it was in 1929 until right now in 2021 last year. I'm just looking at the numbers of the U.S. debt, okay? In 2018, the U.S. debt was $21,516 billion. If I said that number correct. And this was after the Trump tax cuts, okay? And then 2019, it went up to 22. And then 2020, 27. 2021, it was at 29. So things going to keep going up.
Exactly.
If you're not in that year, then, you're not going to make the money for that year. So it's good, But anyway, I'm just saying is everything's going to change. Everything's going to change.
Yeah, I agree. Everything changes. That's exactly my point. It keeps changing. It keeps evolving, and players will continue to get more and more money. That is what we will continue to see, is that players that's coming in the future, their signing bonuses will get larger. We see how much money we know when we were in college playing sports, we didn't get paid, Tyrone. We couldn't make money.
I got to plead the fifth.
Oh, well, maybe okay. Well, I'll speak for myself. When I was in college, I didn't get paid. And, so now you get the players with the name, image, and likeness where they're able to make money off of their name. They're able to sell T-shirts. They're able to make money and do these things. So as time is going on, we're seeing where the money is just going to keep increasing. That's going to happen in the collegiate level, and it's going to continue to happen in professional sports.
And I didn't get paid in Fort Valley either. I just want to say that. But I wasn't broke either.
I wasn't broke either, but I will say my money came from my father.
But there goes our man Todd. He said, "Easy, Tyrone. Trump is coming back." Yeah, so hold on a second. We also got in social media. We have someone from Facebook saying maybe that's a strategy for the WNBA, like golf, use endorsements to increase player play. And we actually are starting to see that in the WNBA. We're seeing more and more. Matter of fact, women's sports right now over the last 2 or 3 years has had explosive growth in terms of the number of women getting endorsement deals and pretty high profile deals. So you're definitely seeing that. For our Facebook user, appreciate you for bringing that out as well. All right, guys, we're going to take one more little tiny break, and we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. And what I tell you, don't go nowhere, because we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
My man, JB Smooth. Appreciate all those people who dropped by the Real Talk Sports Show as we were on the blue carpet a few years back when they had the College Football Championship right here in Atlanta. And we were there as many luminaries from sports and for entertainment. We're hanging out. And that was the day I always remember. That evening, it dropped to a record low of 9 degrees. Made me feel like I was back home in Connecticut. They kept some of them heat lamps outside because they said, no, y'all can't go inside. I'm still feeling the pain from you, ESPN. But anyway, let's keep it moving on. Let's keep it moving on as we continue to talk some sports. Let's see what our other topics are here as we get everything wrapped up here in our final segment of the show. Let's take a peek. Part 2 of our topics here. Yeah, so we're talking really about all this money going around college football. Is we going to have no more Power 5? We're just going to have a Power 3 conferences soon. Dion donated to the JSU renovation program. Are more players going to follow suit? And the Texas Tech football team, each player gets $25,000 for 1 year on an NIL deal. And we'll stop it right there. Let's ask the question here. All right. What do you guys think about the idea of it going from having a Power 5 conference to possibly only having 3 super conferences? Tree, your thoughts. As we talked last week, USC and UCLA shockingly moving from the Pac-12 to, of all places, the Big Ten.
Yeah, you don't have to say of all places. Like, don't say it like that. Like the Big Ten is bad. Unbelievable.
You all in your feelings. I'm just saying it just seems odd that a West Coast.
You could have just said to the Big Ten, but you said to of all places. The Big
Yes,
Ten.
that's your rival. That's like OKD.
Like they said, they're doing it for the money.
Yeah, they sure are. But what do you think about the idea of maybe dwindling down from having the Power 5 to just maybe just 3 super conferences? You think that will help college football hurt?
I think that if things continue the way that they are, it will probably get that way just because we know that, as for instance, what you're saying, that the players get $25,000 each year that they attend. So if you're there for 4 years, 5 years, oh my goodness, right? So if these smaller conferences can't compete with that, where are all the great players going to go? All the top players are going to go to these big conferences that can provide them with the most money. That is definitely going to be a tool that players use when they're looking at which college am I going to go to. So I think that definitely is a strong possibility if that continues to happen.
I just want to make a correction. That was for Texas Tech, and they actually guaranteed each player at least 1 year at $25,000. I don't know whether they're going to continue.
Oh, so they only are guaranteeing them 1 year. So it's
1
not
year.
for every year.
Right. But the cool thing is in my understanding, it's for the whole team. It's like, I guess all the starters, they all get it. Flat $25,000 across the board, which is great because, Tyrone, sometimes you a backup, offensive guard. You ain't nobody trying to sign you to no deal. So great to hear they're doing that. Tyrone, what do you think? You like the idea of having a super conference, or you think that we should kind of put the brakes on all this moving around?
Well, I'm going to start with that NIL thing. I think they should add some type of percentage to it because, again, we talk about how sports is getting popular every year. Well, at $25,000, they probably going to keep that in the records for the next 5 years. while these big school programs are increasing the ticket prices, and but still yet the athletes are just getting 25 so thousand. So I think actually from that standpoint, they need to add interest on it. Next year is a 5% interest on it. Next year, a 5%, because when these athletes become more popular, they come in as a freshman, they're not really known. But about the time, depending on the program they come from, but about the time they become juniors and seniors, they are now the face of the program. They're going out doing deals and signing autographs for the actual school, but still getting paid 25%. So, I can go on and on with that. But when it comes to the power conferences, I think now I'm gonna go back and treat, you know what, shouts out to the Big Ten, because I went and did, me, I'm an analytical person. I'm going back and doing some study. Now, based off of what the knowledge and the information that I received, they say the Big Ten has a little bit of step over the SEC. And the one thing I look at is when Jonathan mentioned the Power Five, okay, the Big Ten record against Power Five opponents was 8-6, okay, 8-6. When you look at the SEC, their record versus Power Five opponents was 6-5. Okay, and then you look at the Big 12, their record versus Power Five opponents, they were 4-4. And then you got the ACC, but now the ACC, they were Power Five opponents, they were 5-8. So ACC. But anyways, Jonathan, answer your question. Really, why do we play sports? Why do we do anything? We do it to win. And why do we go to track meets? I'm gonna use track and field. Really, when I go to the track and field meet, I don't want to see the preliminaries. I don't want to see the semifinals. I want to see the finals.
Mm-hmm.
The finals is the best of the best. That's why when it comes down to basketball, baseball, that's why everybody tunes in to Game 7. Game 7 has the highest ratings because they know those players will give the best effort they can. So really, yes, I would like to see one great big conference or the best player, the best teams. Now everybody else, you just got to step your game up, But that's just me. That's just me.
Can I just say one thing to something that Tyrone said real quick? Just look at how far the world has come, where Tyrone said the player only gets $25,000. When you said that, I was like, only? I mean, I got nothing. So I would be happy with $25,000. And he said the player only gets $25,000. It just goes to show how things are changing. And you're right. So I definitely agree with you that freshman year it should be this amount. Sophomore year it should go up and things of that nature, especially when you win a championship. When you win that championship, the price goes up.
And I think, Tree, the reason why I said only 25,000, because I'm pretty sure all of us would agree, and those watching and listening, these college programs, they've been making buku money forever. So that's why I say only 25,000. But I agree with you would get nothing, little to nothing. But they give you a Trans Am if you're Eric Dickerson. Did they get Eric Dickerson a Trans Am? I don't know, but
well, evidently Tyrone Sparkle thought 25,000 ain't much either, because as soon as we hit that number, she got mad. So I'm just saying, evidently she with you, bro. But at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, it's just, listen. I mean, now Todd, once again, whoa, I'm sorry, praise the Lord. He said that college football is in trouble. I blame greed, and he said Deion is lying. He did give the $1 million to the top draft pick. Now, who he's talking about is a young man from right here in our backyard. He's talking about the #1 overall player in high school as far as the ratings last year. Is Travis Hunter, the big wide receiver, looked like Julio Jones playing high school football. And of course, Collins Hill went on to win. I don't want to say the mythical, they actually had to play somebody, but they actually won the national high school football championship as well. So, I mean, here's the bottom line. This has been going on for a minute. This idea of people getting paid, guys getting a check. The bag man has been in operation full effect in college football since the 40s. Right? And if you think it's going to change with NIL, it's going to get a little better. You're not going to get people getting suspended. You're not going to get teams getting the death penalty because they done did something slim shady. But at the end of the day, this is only going to get worse. Because now it's almost like everybody's going to open checkbook. That's why the Commissioner Stanky from the SEC ran up to the government talking about, you guys got to do this because, again, it goes back to the same thing. The NCAA had a nice term for it. They said the lack of institutional control. And that's the problem. All these organizations are feeling like, oh, snap, we no longer have control over the product, which are the players, the athletes. So,
well,
and now, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I sort of see where they're coming from, but they're not really, because it's not the university that's paying the players. Yeah, so the university is still making the money that they were already making. It is not the money does not come from that university. So this has absolutely nothing to do with that in the sense of the university losing money for it. It does affect the recruiting. Yes, we do understand that. It does affect where people will go because other schools can provide, but it's not technically the school that's paying these players. It's outside of the school.
Well, see, that's what I meant by the term lack of institutional control. See, before you look at a team like Alabama, or you go back even when I was a young man, Ohio State was very similar. These guys could stack 3 and 4 deep of the best players in the country because they were getting the most TV time. They were sending the most guys to the pros. Now, and in many cases, they had the biggest bag man off the record. But now you have a situation where if you get a school, even an unknown school that has a well-heeled contributor, all of a sudden they can be put in the game overnight with the ability to pay these NILs. And so what I meant by lack of institutional control, these big conferences like the SEC, like Tyrone had mentioned, have been dominant, winning all these national championships. Now all of a sudden they're threatened by the fact that an ACC school or an HBCU, if they had big enough pockets, they can now begin to take away these top athletes. As you guys all know, you can be a great coach as you want, but you need them horses. And if you got players, all of a sudden you in the game. And that's what all these guys are nervous about. Their inability to now control these athletes in the way they traditionally did.
That's true. But I will say, even before the NIL was even in existence, the problem already came with the transfer portal. When I was in college, you couldn't transfer. And now the players can transfer. So you can go to one school 1 year and just transfer every year. So there's no stability. That has nothing to do with the NIL. That was a problem before the NIL was even in existence. But now that you're adding the NIL, now there's even less stability because you have, again, the transfer portal. People can go 1 year and then they can go elsewhere. And we know that players are going to go for money. I mean, if I was in college and somebody was offering me $25,000 to go to this school, I would think about it. It wouldn't be the number one reason for my decision, but yes, it would be a part of it if it was a place that I feel that I would be happy anyway. Okay. But if it's a place that I didn't think I would be happy, there's no way I would go just for money. But I do know that I'm a different breed.
So you got Tyrone serious. I see them wheels turning.
No, I'm actually I'm just thinking like, we're talking about the NILs, just think about quarterbacks that played prior to the NIL. I'm thinking about Michael Vick. What type of endorsement deal Michael Vick would have had? Matt Leinart, Cam Newton, Manning, all these guys. What about Tommy Frazier at Nebraska? What type of NIL deal would he have gotten? I'm like, man, woo! You talk about coming, playing at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So Tyrone, what you were doing is you were counting the money that you lost. Basically, you were like, dang. I knew that face. Tyrone got serious. He said, dang, I could have made like mad money. Man, guys, Tyrone got real serious. All right. Now, Todd always has to take a weird angle on this. Okay, this is what Todd says here on social media on YouTube. Tom says, okay, I tell you what it does. If you're a star player making money and you're a third string lineman, you ain't going to block if you ain't getting nothing. No.
Ooh. Well, that'll get you on the bench and kicked off the team.
Yeah. Todd, listen, dude, you know we're trying to be funny, but at the end of the day, here's how this works. Tyrone, a good leader knows what he needs to do to motivate his team. And I guarantee you, Todd, if that quarterback gets $100,000 NIL and he's got himself a front line, all of a sudden them dudes gonna be eating steak. They're
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
getting the right clothes. They would get them little $500 here. Hey, take the woman out to this. Oh, come on, man.
Oh yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
You
That
gotta take care of your line.
you already know.
On the head, Jonathan. You got to take care of the people that take care of you. So if I'm a quarterback, again, just think about Tim Tebow. Down in Florida, man, they love that dude, man.
Right.
I like he probably could have broke the bank. He probably could have been making Patrick Mahomes money.
Ridiculous. In
back
college.
man.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, man, it's gonna. I mean, it's like I said, this is just a symptom of what we're going on in general. And I'm gonna go back really quick on this golf thing. So the golf thing, the reason why it's getting a little tense now is because now it's gotten political. Now we got a situation where you have everybody's talking about the Saudis are our enemy. Well, okay, let's just kind of stop telling lies. Okay, this has got nothing to do with the Saudis being our enemy. This gets into some things that I can't get into obviously on this show. I'm not going to do it, but there's a lot more behind this engine. Okay, we all need to grow up. The Saudis are considered a friend of the American government. Donald Trump has said, "Hey, guess what? I'm taking their money, and you can play the tournaments right here on my course." So this idea that it's bad because the Saudis got nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with, hey, everybody's losing institutional control. And all I'm saying is, when you got a good thing, you got to be careful to make sure that in your quest not to be greedy, you don't kill the golden goose. And that's what I've been saying about college football. I said, you keep on, you got a gazillion bowl games, you squeeze these conferences into 2 or 3 or 4 conferences, you got these weird matchups where now you're going to have USC and UCLA playing in the Big Ten against their arch rivals in the same conference. Come on, man. You're getting kind of crazy. All right, so let's see here.
That's why they call it cops and robbers. Cops and robbers. Anytime you come out with something new, the robbers usually always going to get the advantage, the first steps. And then they come and police it and try to make the problem better. So it's always going to be that cops and robber syndrome.
Just saying. All right, let's go back here to our topics.
What was the comment?
Oh, he was saying it's like cops and robbers. So in other words, the
No,
cops
that you put up that you took down.
Oh, hang on a second. Let me go back to that. I lost it. Hold on. He said, "You telling me jealousy ain't going to come into play?" Jealousy. He means jealousy. It's not coming into play between the players. I guess that's what he means by that. I mean, I don't know. I mean but see, here's the thing. On that point, I'll let you guys comment to that. Okay, there's always gonna be. I don't care what coach you talk about. You can talk about Lombardi. You can talk about Coach Paul Brown back in the 40s and 50s. You can talk about all these disciplinarians. Most of these guys, it comes out that the top players, the guys that are helping them win, they are treated not completely, but somewhat differently than the rank and file player. I mean, Jim Brown talked about that Paul Brown, who was you guys have to Google this up, was a stern man, and he was all about the rules. There were times when Jim Brown broke the rules, and Jim Brown said what he would do is because Paul Brown knew Jim Brown didn't like anybody getting in his face. He would go to his roommate and lambaste his roommate in front of Jim Brown, let him know, "Hey, I'm talking to you," but he would never confront him directly. Same thing to the Packers. Some of the Packers players got away with some things like Paul Hornung, other guys that other Packers couldn't. I mean, the players didn't get jealous at the end. Well, maybe they did, but maybe you can speak to that, Tyrone. At the end of the day, if a guy gets a little different treatment from the coach, as long as he's playing and taking care of business, are you going to get jealous?
No,
I'm just asking you. I mean, I don't know, because as I've told you, I've not played 1 minute of anything.
You don't. It's as long at the end of the day, the word is, "What have you done for me lately?"
Yes.
So when a player comes up complaining, "Hey, you need to pay me more. You need to pay me more." You know what I'm saying? What have you done for me lately? When the last time you had a sack? When the last time you had an interception? When the last time you made a big play? Okay, that's why you're not getting paid. All right. Versus somebody else who comes up, you know what? We talked about Lawrence Taylor. They had the Lawrence Taylor rules. When the last time you made a sack? Man, I had 5 sacks last game. Oh, okay. When the last time you made a big play? Who won that game last week? Okay. Well, how can we keep you happy? So it's a different talk. It's a different talk. You're producing versus not producing.
We know that coaches always have their favorites.
Yes.
And that's just something that has been going on from the beginning of sports, and it will continue to go on. And me personally, I was my coach's favorite, and I knew it, and everybody else knew it, because I worked 110% every single practice and every single game. And not one person could deny that. I don't care if you liked me, if you didn't like me, you knew that when Tree came to practice, Tree gave 110% every single second. And so my coach would do all kind of stuff that was very obvious, that I was her favorite, buying me a ice cream cake for my birthday. Everybody else, she made a cake. We got pizza the night of my birthday. So all kind of other stuff that she would do. But again, not one person, at least they didn't say anything to me if they felt that way. But everybody always knew Tree gives 110%. So it is what it is. It comes with the territory. If you want the favoritism, then just give it your all. Bust your tail and do what you need to do and go above and beyond what you're asked to do. And then you will get those things too.
Can I say I got a real quick story, a true story, New England. I go to the Patriots. We're talking about respect, right? Respect. It's not necessarily production on the field. It's basically your character gives you respect from other coaches, that they will allow you to do things that they would not allow other players to do. Okay, when I first get to New England, all right, I go and visit with Eric Mangini, Romeo Cornell, who's the defensive coordinator, Eric Mangini, who was my secondary coach. And then the last person you speak to is the head coach. I spoke to Bill Belichick. So as we're closing in, Bill saying, okay, hey, we want you here. We, think you can help us. I told Bill, I said, I work out in Atlanta. It's with me, Shannon Sharp, we had our little group, our little posse. And he said, you know what? I'm not worried about that. You can work out in Atlanta just as long as you come up here every once a week just to show your face. But they do their homework and they know what type of workout person I was. They didn't have to worry about me without not working out. Whereas other guys, they got to pay these guys. We're going to give you $200,000 just to make 10 workouts. See, they didn't have to do that with me. Because I'm like, well, that's where your production, your character, coach is like, okay, I don't worry about him. He has a different rule. We know what he's going to do. So that's a true story.
That's a great point, Tyrone, because you know how many other players would have asked if they could go work out in another state, and they would say, no, you need to be here in our facility with our trainers that we are paying. And that does speak for your character, and it also speaks to your work ethic. And we know that with the NFL, not all players that are in the NFL have that great work ethic that you do, but a lot of them do have good work ethic. But as you said, everybody wouldn't be working out. Some of them would be going to the club and doing this and doing that, where we know you were actually working out and doing what was best for your body so that you could be successful.
And we talk about Bill Belichick too, y'all.
Exactly. Like, that's not just any coach. Like, we all know how Bill is. The strict is the strict.
I love that story, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, the coach is going to do what he thinks is going to get the most out of that player. And so what he saw, I can trust Tyrone. He's a man of integrity, and he's working out with other guys that have that grind attitude. So when he comes back, he might be better than if he had stayed here with us.
Yes.
And that's going to help us win games. And that's what good coaches do. I mean, like I said, they're not going to put up with no nonsense, but if they have to be a little flexible to help make the team win, because the bottom line is we are trying to win championships. I know that. I ain't played not 1 minute.
But you played tennis, though. You played tennis.
A little tennis. I did a little bit of that. So, but at the end of the day, I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, so, and Todd, you acting crazy, brother. They're on social media. Okay, Arch Manning getting $30 million, and the kicker is riding a bike to practice. It's not going to break up the team, because guess what? Arch Manning grew up in a family that knows about football, knows about how to put a winning product on the field. So if you think that he's going to let that kicker feel some kind of way where he might miss an extra point or a field goal to cost that team a game, he ain't going to do that. He's going to bring him in there. Look at, man, let me break off of whatever I got to break off to make you feel good. Maybe you need a new bike. Maybe you need a motorcycle. I'll hook you up.
Well,
but at the end of the day,
I can't see a quarterback paying a kicker.
No, Todd's obviously being crazy.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, now, the people that's protecting you, yes, I get that. But you're not paying the whole team. Come on now.
Listen, at the end of the day, all this money's been going around for a minute. The one thing I do tell people about, whether I'm uncomfortable with it or not, is irrelevant. What I am happy about the NIL is doing is removing the stigma from the player of being some kind of crook or rule breaker if he's utilizing his name, image, and likeness. Because that's what you really did. And really, it really, to be very candid, it cost Todd Gurley probably 3 years off his NFL career of being a top player, because if you remember, he got suspended. Georgia rushed him back, ended up getting an injury, which turned out to be an arthritic injury, which ended his career.
Yes,
mean,
but I
you
do
know-
want to say that at that time he did break the rules.
No,
This
no.
rule just be yes, he did. When
Go ahead.
at the time there was not, you were not supposed to get paid when you were playing in the NCAA. So if you got paid and you were an NCAA athlete, you knew that you broke the rules, because as with professional sports, before our season even starts, they take us into an office and we go over the rules and we sign paperwork from the NCAA. Every NCAA athlete knows it. So if you choose to break those rules, you broke the rules. Now that is not breaking the rules, okay, now it's okay. But at that time, technically, he did break the rules.
Now, Tree, you are aware that we are saying the same thing, right? I'm saying
Oh, I
that
thought you said the opposite, because I thought you said
no.
no. You
what
said
I'm saying is that's the
you
blessing.
said you didn't like that he was known as a rule breaker. Sorry. Okay, Sparkle.
No, what I'm saying
that
is
you
that
were saying that, so now he won't be known as a rule breaker. Didn't you just say that?
no,
'Cause
what I
that's
mean
why
is
I said my statement.
what I meant was that now players don't have to worry about breaking the rules and getting that kind of having that kind of stigma. Now, I'm not trying to say you have the rules are the rules. What I'm saying is that now it is taken that this whole thing about the players can't getting paid and them getting in trouble, and just, hey, look here, man, these guys deserve this money. Just let them get the money and let it be above board, and let's stop kind of, again, I understand breaking the rules, but somebody, oftentimes the people that entice the player, the people that play the players, those guys are nameless and faceless. And that was the only thing that irritated me, that you never really heard about the agent that, hey man, I'm slipping you this extra money, or the boosters. Those names oftentimes were mysteriously not mentioned. So what I'm happy
Yeah.
about is at least now that's off the table. We ain't got to worry about, hey man, I'm going to break a rule or somebody doing something slim shady. The money, I don't know if they have rules. I guess they're trying to put some rules now into how the NILs are going to work. But at least now that whole stigma about bag man is out in the open. Everybody getting a check. I'm just saying. All right, so we're getting ready to wrap it up here. Let's make sure I think we hit all the topics. I think we might have talked. Okay.
I didn't hear to John Collins.
Right, there we go right there. So big shout out to Georgia Tech. We're hoping to get some Georgia Tech people on here. Maybe talk to them next week. Yeah, this is going to make or break season for the Texters. They're playing Clemson, the opening game. NBA, DeAndre Ayton is going to stay with the Suns and the Hawks. John Collins, is he really underrated? Quick question. What do you think? Do you think he's underrated, Tree? Because most of the stats are saying this guy's one of the better players of his position in the league.
Yes, I think, well, no, a lot of people do know how great he is, but I do think he's slightly underrated, just for the simple fact that he gets a little of the respect that he deserves, but I don't think he gets it all the way. So I do think that he is slightly underrated.
Tyrone, what do you think about John Collins? You think he's getting a bad rap, especially in Atlanta? I think sometimes Atlanta fans just don't give him. I mean, they don't really, I think, respect what he does. You think he's underrated, or he's just rated the way he should be?
Well, I think he is underrated. And plus, I think here in Atlanta is such a melting pot of people who have different sports teams. And of course, they're only going to pull for their teams that they truly love. So they're not going to rant and rave about John Collins. But if John Collins was playing for a team, say like up in Boston, okay, and John Collins, yes, his name would be all over the place. But I just think in certain cities, again, here in Atlanta is a melting pot. You got people from everywhere, people who like this team, that team. So, of course, they're not going to give a homegrown person playing for the city that you're staying in, they're going to give him credit. So, again, sometimes you got to go out to come back in. So I think once John goes somewhere else and he's in a city where they're going to really embrace him, then the media is going to pump him. And, we see it all the time.
Yeah, but I sure hope that they don't send him elsewhere.
Yeah, he had some great comments both on social media and the news talking about welcoming in our newest Hawk. And he's thinking that, which I think as well, he said this guy's going to bring a lot of energy. He said basically the guy could be a triple-double on the move at all times. Yeah, Delonte, I think he's going to bring – I think the other thing that's going to help for John is that I think that he's going to get the ball more where he needs to make plays. I think that the Hawks hopefully are going to go back to a more up tempo, more of him kind of playing over the rim with the alley oops. And I think if they do that, you're going to get the best of John Collins. I mean, that's me personally. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think another thing too is you got to keep in mind. Here's a guy that, and I know you guys always talk about evolving as a player, but here's a guy they basically kind of just force fed him and say, "Oh, you got to shoot more from the outside," where he's an over the rim player, and he did it as a team guy, and they're okay. So again, I just think this is a guy that's not respected properly here. It's almost like the Bible said, "Prophet hath honor except in his own hometown." And I think that's the way with Collins. You go around the country, you would find a lot of people think this guy is a top player here in the NBA. And I hope and pray that the Hawks do not do anything dumb and trade this guy unless they're getting somebody that is a talent that can put them over the top, kind of the missing piece to get to a championship. So, yeah,
I
I think
agree
Collins
with
is
you.
underrated. I think they really don't give the guy, what he deserves. You look at his lifetime average in the NBA. I mean, what are you looking for? 16.5 a game, 8.3 rebounds a game, and just under 1 block per game. And some memorable game-changing dunks
Yes.
by this guy.
And defensive blocks that just brought the whole energy up.
Just saying.
But he
Go
needs
ahead,
some
Tyrone.
work that thing. What he needs some work that thing supplement. So
Okay.
link. So if you do have an opportunity,
Okay. I like how you did that,
Let me try to get this link. Now, did you send it to my Real Talk Sports
yeah,
email?
I sent it to email. I sent it to
All right.
you. Email.
Let me go ahead and see if I
Oh,
can pull this
it's
up.
commercial time.
So we're gonna try to get this
It's
commercial on before we go. We
time.
still got a few more minutes before we wrap it up here. And we're gonna make sure to get that thing commercial on here.
We didn't hit football either. Football.
Yeah, we're gonna get that. Hold on a second. Let's go back to football here. Let's pop it up here. Bam. Okay. NFL teams are getting ready for camp, and the announcement is made. Dean Pease has said, "I'm going to a 3-4." That's it. What does that mean to the Falcons? And is Deion Jones then gone because this scheme doesn't appear to, from what we saw last year, fit his skill sets? Tyrone, you first. What do you think? If Dean Pease at the 3-4 is Tyrone, is Deion gone?
Well, you know what? We know that in order to play the 3-4, if anybody understands the 3-4, 3 down linemen, and then you got 4 linebackers. And what makes the 3-4 kind of where you got to have linebackers. And when I think of a middle linebacker, I always think about LeVon Kirkland with the Pittsburgh Steelers, number 99. That's a big dude. That's a big middle linebacker, but he was agile. You talk about Deion. Deion is smaller. He's quicker. Deion is built more for a 4-3, where those tackles can hide him, and he can just use his speed to beat the runner to the gaps. But when you play in a 3-4, you have 3 down linemen, and you got what they call 2 bubbles. 2 bubbles are usually where the middle linebackers are. So it's easy for them guards to get off and get up on that middle linebacker. And if you're not strong enough, then boom, you can't get off that block. Man, it's running city. That 3-4 is not built so much to stop the run. The 3-4 is a defense that's built to put pressure on that quarterback. But it can stop the run, but you usually got to bring some type of fire zone, so to speak, to block up that gap. So I don't know. Deion Jones either going to have to move to another position outside, I don't know. But middle linebacker, 3-4, he's going to have a lot of them big guards coming downhill on him.
Yeah, I don't think that's really his game. I mean, we saw that when he was his first couple of years, or really before the injury, those first few years, he was really a great talent. As a matter of fact, was a backup selection to be in the Pro Bowl, and he made, again, like our buddy John Collins, some huge plays for Atlanta, especially if we can always remember that interception in the end zone against New Orleans, where he looked like he leaped out of the building. So yeah, I mean, Deion Jones, it doesn't seem like he's going to fit with a 3-4, but we're going to see what happens. He's got a big cap hit, $20 million, I think. But what they're saying is it doesn't matter whether they cut him or keep him. The difference between the cap hit is only going to be about $1 million. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going forward for Mr. Deion Jones. Let's see if we can get this working here, guys. We're going to try to share our screen here so you guys can see this advertisement before we go. Let's see if I can get it done right. I think I can. We're going to share the screen. And we're going to do, yep. We're going to do that. I just want to make sure I got the full screen on it so we can do that. Let me go back here. And
Thatthing.com.
let's try it here. Hang on a second. I get it all working here. Hang on. And we're gonna
Build your
go to
muscle, build your brain, expand to your new level. New level. Work that thing, supplements. But appreciate it, Jonathan.
let's get the play button here.
Yeah,
And here we go.
Allow me to educate and edify you about Work That Thing supplements. You see, it's all about the E. The E means energy is required in order to engage the obstacle at hand. The E means to be extraordinary. You must establish a plan of action that empowers you to emerge victorious time and time again. When you feel empty and the effort is not there, the E means elevate your thinking beyond the situation. The E means that Work That Thing supplements are economical, effective, with an excellent taste. So eliminate the excuses. This is your time to get what you want. Go work that thing with the Work That Thing supplements.
Bum, bum, bum.
There you go. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, that's good stuff, brother. And I liked at the end you mentioned that it is vegan as well. So if you're trying to stay on a vegan diet, you don't have to worry about, oh man, I can't use those. Nope, he's got vegan supplements as well. So yeah, man, keep up the good work. And it's always good to have multiple streams of income. Well, guys, time has flown. So we're at the end of our show. And when we get to the end, we always like to make sure that people know how to find out more about you and what you're doing, social media, website, and the like. So, Mr. Tyrone Poole, the floor is yours.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you, Jonathan, for playing that commercial. You can find me, Tyrone Poole 38, all social media. Also, don't forget workthatthing.com. Go build them guns up. All right. If you're a woman, you're trying to get that butt right, Work That Thing supplements to help you get there. All right. Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate you. Everybody have a great day. A great
Tyrone,
night.
I believe the term is called glutes
Well,
or buttocks.
We're talking to the new generation. All right.
That's called, ladies and gentlemen, keeping it real on the Real Talk Sports Show. He said, hey, I ain't got time for all that fancy stuff. If you want your butt right, go ahead and use Work That Thing. All right, Tyrone Poole, appreciate you, brother.
All right, man.
Yes, sir. All right, Miss Tree Dolman, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. You can find me on all social media at It's Latresa, as well as Ms. America International 2022. Please be sure to check us out tomorrow on my Instagram Live from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are having a live because tomorrow is Glioblastoma Awareness Day. And we are going to talk about some facts, talk about the wonderful things that are going on with research, and we're going to give some giveaways from one of my nonprofit organizations, Go Great for a Cure. So please tune in tomorrow. You can find it on the It's Latresa Live or the Go Great for a Cure Live on Instagram. Thank you.
Follow the queen, and help her out. All right, guys. Yep, I'm going to wrap it up here. You guys may or may not know, I'm, in fact, a real live minister. That's right. I'm a minister. So we want to encourage you. First of all, before I get into that, number one, if you got a great sports story, like you have an athlete that's doing some great stuff off the field, a coach, even a parent, please contact us via email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or you can call me directly on the cell phone, 678-410-9833. Remember to follow me and follow the show. You can follow me personally at Minister J. Sims. So remember, that's Minister, the letter J, then SIMF. Or you can follow the show at Real Talk Sports, the number 7, and that's anywhere on social media. Look, before I get out of here, like I said, again, I'm a real live minister, so I want to encourage you. As you can see, so much going on in this day and time. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know the Lord? If you don't have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, I'm going to implore you, please, ma'am, please, sir, get to know him today. Why? Because nobody loves you like Jesus, not your mom, not your auntie, not your bae, not your boo, not your BFF, not your ride and die partner. Nobody loves you like him. Because he did the ultimate thing. He came here both fully God, fully man, and died for you, not only you, but for the sins of all mankind. And what that means, if you repent of your sins and believe that Jesus Christ came here, died on the cross, and rose from the dead, 2 wonderful things happen to you. Number 1, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number 2, you become an adoptive child of God with all the rights therein. That means that you, that's right, you can go to the maker of heaven and earth, the creator of everything that you see and don't see, and now go to him like your father, like a parent. Anything that you need or desire according to his will, he'll give it to you. And number two, even when you die, you go to that wonderful place called heaven, where there's none of the following: no pandemic, no bad people, no pain, no suffering. You never die, you never get old, and it's sunny all the time. Why? Because the glory of God illuminates the whole kingdom, and every single building is blinged out with the most beautiful jewels you can ever think of. As a matter of fact, the streets are paved with a gold that's so pure it's translucent. And you avoid that unhappy place called hell, where all the things that are in heaven won't be in hell. So it's dark, it stinks, it's bad people everywhere. But most of all, you cut off from God and Jesus Christ forever and a day, and all the people that you love. I don't know about you, like option number one instead of option number two. All right, guys, until the next time that we see you again, God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day. So long or night.